Hello and welcome to NOS 130. This is week 1 and my name is Paul Ambroso. I'm going to be going over basic file management for Windows 7, and I will also be going a little bit beyond that into power users, different keyboard shortcuts and hotkeys that you can use to increase your productivity with the Windows 7 file manager. All of the hotkeys that I am using for this tutorial will also be located in the description section of this YouTube video. So let's get right down to it. Let's go into the computer window. Let's bring this into focus here. So I've got all my drives here. My C drive is my main drive, so I'm going to go in there. And what I'm going to be looking to do in this tutorial is to create a folder on my C drive specifically for NOS 130. In this folder I want to have everything I'm going to need for this course for each week, because I feel that each week is going to bring a completely separate and completely new challenge. So yeah, let's start to create that. So the very first thing that I need to do is I need to create a folder for NOS 130. You'll see up here that there is a new folder button. I could click on that if I wanted to. The other option is to right click on a white spot out here, go to new, and then click on new folder. So now I've got my new folder. Let's name it. I'm going to name it NOS 130. Now, a folder is basically a container. A container can hold various other objects that I want the container to hold. So in this case, for my NOS 130, I can hold text files, I can hold movies, videos, sound, MP3s, you name it, I can hold it in there. The point of a folder is the same as the point of a container. It has to be specific. It has to be direct. I have to be able to go to that container and know exactly what's going to be contained in it. Otherwise, it's just a random hodgepodge worth of stuff, and I really don't even want to look in there if I need anything, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it. So that's what's good about having one folder for one class, is that if I need something for this class, I can go right in that folder and I'll have a very good shot at finding what I want to find. So now that we've got the container concept out of the way, let's have a look in here. So this is an empty folder. I need to start populating it with stuff. So the very first thing I want to populate it with is going to be a text file. So we're going to be working with creating a text file. So to create a text file, right click on the white spot, go to new, and then go to text document. So there is my text document. So I'm going to name this week 1. Now of course there's not going to be anything in this text file. It's completely empty. But I can put things in here like, you know, notes for the class, or pretty much anything else that I want. So I'm going to save this so I can keep it for later. So this text file is now in my container, and yet I don't feel that the current container that I have for NOS 130 is specific enough, because I could throw things in here from all 8 weeks and I would have a hard time finding stuff that I need just for this week, or things that I saved from just last week. So I need to have another container. I need to have another container for all 8 weeks. So in order to make a container, another folder, I can either go up here to new folder, I can create a new folder in the same way that I created it before, but I'm going to go with the power user way of creating it instead. And again, all of these shortcuts I'm going to be going over are in the description. So the shortcut to create a new folder is Control-Shift-N. And there's my new folder there. I can just rename it as I want to. So I'm going to name it week 1, Control-Shift-N, week 2, week 3, week 4, so on and so forth. So you can see that using a keyboard shortcut is going to be so much faster than having to come down here, right click, go to new, and then click on folder, and then have to switch back over to the keyboard to type week 5, and then have to switch back over to the mouse. So using keyboard shortcuts is a much faster way of accomplishing what I want. So now I've got all of my containers for week 1 through week 5, but now I've got this text file here, and I need to move that into the correct container, which is obviously going to be week 1. So to move it, I just click on it, and I literally move my mouse up to this week 1 and then let go. And my file is moved. It's now in week 1. And it would be I think it's the same way. Yep, I can also move it from in here over to the left side here back into NOS 130 if I wanted to. So if I have something like a syllabus that I want to be able to see regardless of which week it is, it would be good to have it out here on the outside of the container, of the week containers, so that I can always refer back to the syllabus when I want to. And as a preface, here's another power user trick. If I wanted to copy this instead, I have several options to do that. If I want to just copy this file into week 1 instead of moving it into week 1. The first option that I have is using the Control-C button, or hotkey. So I press Control-C, and although you can't see it on your screen, I go in here into week 1, and then to paste it, I press Control-V. So there is my file. It's in week 1, and it's also in NOS 130. So I'm going to delete this. As another option, I can also click and drag it over here, and then if I press the control button, it changes the text from move to week 1 to copy to week 1, like this. So I'm pressing it, letting go, pressing it, letting go. So by keeping it pressed while I release the left mouse key, that will copy it into week 1. So I can go into week 1, and there it is. Now as far as deleting files, you'll notice I deleted one before, and I probably did that too quickly. But as for deleting files, to do that, you have, again, several options. One option is to just click on the file that you want and press the delete key. So what this will do is it'll just move the file to the recycle bin, and then if you want to restore it from the recycle bin, you can. But let's say that you don't want to send it to the recycle bin because you know you're never ever going to need it again. So here's another power user hotkey you can use. You press and hold the shift key, and then you press the delete button. So notice how this is different here. It'll allow you to permanently delete the file. So I'm going to say yes, I want to permanently delete the file. I already have another copy of it elsewhere. I don't need this copy. So, okay, going back into NOS 130, let's say that, I made too many weeks. Perhaps this is only a 4-week course, and I have 5 weeks here. Deleting a folder is the exact same thing as deleting a file. I just click on it, press the delete key, move it to the recycle bin, or I can do shift delete and I can permanently delete the folder. So that folder is permanently deleted. So yeah, that concludes this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching.